Welcome to another iHusbandry instruction video. The Enter Facts task may be used online or offline to create and maintain files of facts about your animals. You can create a file when working with your animals and enter animal identifiers manually, or if using the iHusbandry tag reader and weigh scale devices, automatically. You can also select an existing file and make changes to the data. The Enter Facts user interface has a number of sections. The file item displays the name of the file you selected or wish to save data in. Note that these files provide local backup and audit trails. The Auto Add Animal option allows you to either add data automatically or press the Add Animal button once you have entered the animal ID. The weighing option allows you to specify if you are weighing the animals. The Reader and Scale buttons allow you to connect to the iHusbandry tag reader and weigh scale devices. Enter the animal ID and weight if using weighing, and the data in the default facts grid will be added to the file facts. There is also a section showing count and weight values for the animals in the file facts grid. The data in the default facts grid serves a number of purposes. As already mentioned, this data is added to the file facts grid whenever a new animal ID is entered. It is also used with the #add, #edit and #delete buttons to perform those actions on data in the file facts grid. The Save button allows you to save the data in the file facts grid to the file named in the file item. The file is saved to the device you are using. If you are online, the Submit button allows you to send the data in the file facts grid to the facts table in your remote database. In what follows, a number of common use cases of the Enter Facts task in action are shown. Imagine that you have just tagged a steer and want to record the data in your animal table. You are working offline and have the iHusbandry tag reader and scales for reading tags and weights. In this example, we are recording data for a single animal, but we could be recording data for many animals. Select the Enter Facts task and press the Create File button. Enter a file name that describes the data going into the file. Select the Auto Add Animal and Weighing options. Connect the tag reader and scales through the Bluetooth interface. Set up the default facts you wish to apply. Read the tag and scales. Notice the default facts have been automatically entered into the file facts grid and that the count and weight values have been updated. Now disconnect the tag reader and scales and save the file to the computing device you are using. You can now go online and use the Enter Facts Select File facility to submit the data to your remote database facts table. Once the data is in the facts table, you can use the Process Facts task to get the data into your animal table. Imagine that you have just purchased 2 calves and want to add them to your animal data. Select the Enter Facts task and press the Create File button. Enter a file name that describes the data going into the file. Select the Auto Add Animal and Weighing options. Set up the default facts you wish to apply to each animal. Enter the first animal's ID and weight. Notice the default facts have been automatically entered into the file facts grid and that the count and weight values have been updated. Enter the second animal's ID and weight. Because you are online, you can submit the file facts grid data to your remote database facts table. Notice the file has been saved on your device and the facts are in the remote database facts table. You can now use the Process Facts task to get the facts into your animal table. Imagine that you have just read the tags of some new steers using a tag reader that can export a file of the tag numbers. Because the file is not likely to be in the form required by iHusbandry, you may need to clean it, exclude header items that are not required, map header items and map value. Using EnterFacts, select the clean file and the animal ID header item. Notice that when a file has a single header item, which must be an animal ID, a scene fact is automatically entered for each animal. Add the default facts you wish each animal to have and press the #add button. If you have other facts on the day in question, you may remove the scene fact if you wish. To remove the scene fact, reset the default facts and add scene. Then press the #delete button. To save the data, set a file name and press the Save button. To clear the interface, press the Reset button. Imagine that you have a saved file that is missing the breed fact. Using the EnterFacts task, select the file and the animal ID header item. Add the fact you require to the default facts grid and press the #add button. Save the updated data to a new file and press the Reset button to clear the EnterFacts interface. Imagine that one animal in a saved file has the wrong breed. Using the EnterFacts task, select the file and the animal ID header item. Select the relevant fact in the file facts grid and use the edit form to change the value. Save the updated data to a new file and reset the EnterFacts interface. Imagine that you wish to move some animals to a new paddock but do not want to physically read the tags. You can get a file of the tag numbers using the on-hand pivot table or the Animal Task Scratchpad. Using the EnterFacts task, select the file and the animal ID header item. Add the new location to the default facts grid and press the #add button. You can remove the scene fact if you want to, it does no harm to keep it. Now save the data under a new file name. Imagine you are creating a file using the EnterFacts task and you need to edit some of the data you have entered. You can use the #edit button to change multiple values at the same time. You can add a fact for one of the animals in the file facts grid. You can delete any fact in the file facts grid.